Were you apprehensive of the fact that you were doing an English language film, or was it just
No,
natural?
I wasn't. I mean, I wasn't, because she had a few, she wasn't sure whether she'd be okay with it, but I was sure because I think in English, and to me, writing the script came really naturally. It has an Indian heart and it has issues that I feel very strongly about. So I was okay.
And Mahima, were you apprehensive about doing an English language film?
Yeah, because when I started acting in movies, I used to have trouble mouthing Hindi dialogues because I spoke so much in English, I fought in English, and I used to think it's so much easier if you just say your lines in English. But I began doing Hindi films, and by the time I got to this English film, I was so used to emoting in Hindi and being such a drama queen, we are melodramatic and stuff like that. And I know the English film audiences like it very toned down. So I was very, very self-conscious. But she was there to guide me. The Americans liked the head wobble a lot. And we used to say, our Indian crew used to say, good morning. So they started greeting us like that, good morning, So they liked the head wobble a lot. Because they used to say, so you'll be on time tomorrow, Mahima, at 9 o'clock? And I used to go, no?
Is that Indian time or
yeah,
American time?
So yeah, it's like they're trying to explain something to me, and I'm like, you're not understanding? I'm like, no, I'm understanding. Yes. But they had a few funny things, like suddenly one day somebody shouts, make a hole. I was like, make a hole? But what it means is the Americans trying to tell us, move, let us through, when they're carrying lights. So make a hole? Why do you look at my Indian light man who's like, me ho, me ho.
So does that mean now, Tanuja, that you want to do more films which are English language, or will you go back to Bollywood and do, more Hindi language films?
I'm very much about Bollywood. My next one will be a Bollywood film, but I'd love the opportunity to do another English one because it's a completely different kind of movie making, and it's very liberating because you don't have to put in elements that you feel don't belong there. Sometimes I had to do that in Hindi movies, but in this I didn't have to do that, so that was really wonderful.
And Mahima, what about yourself? Would you like to do more English language films, or
both?
Go back to?
I think Bollywood has its own charm, and it's full of musicals, and we love musicals. We like to break into a song. I like to see that. Those rain songs and the sari just flying and you looking glamorous, and they all the time making you look lovely. And I like doing that. And the songs, we get to perform them on stage. And a lot of times when I give my cassettes, the Bollywood film cassettes, to my friends to watch, they always call me back, the Americans, and they say, oh, you sing like an angel. And I'm like, that's not, I didn't sing the song, somebody else did. So I like that part, but the English film, of course, we watch so many of them, and we are enamored by foreign cinema. So it's nice to be part of that kind of a project.
Did you face any difficulty early on, thinking, well, this is a bit of a tricky subject? I'm not sure if I'm going to tackle it properly or not, or do you just feel like it was a subject you could be perfectly happy doing?
I don't get intimidated by tricky subjects because those are the kind of subjects I love.
And has there been any negative reaction in India from that? Yeah.
No, not negative, but yeah, well, some people may not approve of what I'm saying, which is fine. But by and large, because it's the same view, I think, generally speaking, by and large, it's been a really good response. And it's interesting that it's a crossover film because even thematically as well as production-wise, so it's good that people across the oceans can get together by the strength of an idea. So, and then Tongue of Fire calls us over here. It's so wonderful to have a movie with which you can travel and meet people from diverse cultures and meet dynamic women like Shpindler. It's wonderful to interact with people. Otherwise, you always have your closed little life. And I tried Mahima along with me.
I'm happy you did.
Just watching the film, a few things struck me, and one of them was that you didn't actually use any footage of 9/11 itself. Every incident that sort of goes over that subject has those typical images, but you didn't. So I'm good. Why did you make a conscious decision, or?
Yes, absolutely, because everybody in the world has seen those images too many times, and they just stop doing anything to you. You just get impatient with them. So we were sure that we didn't want the plane flying into the building at all. And then maybe while watching you recollect it, which is a good thing. You connect the thing because it's so obvious. But yeah, for sure, we just didn't want to do this.
Would you like to move more towards Hollywood and English language films, or are you both really happy with just staying in India and doing Indian films, or or experimenting?
For me, both. And I think everybody should do everything. I mean, I don't think you need to decide on any one thing to do. Of course, I'll always be based in Bombay at home, but I'd like to make movies.
You're not moving to Los Angeles anytime soon?
No.
How about you, Mahima?
No, not moving, but yeah, I'd like to take a film and do a film elsewhere, yeah, if I get the opportunity. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Alright, well, we're going to open up to questions. If the audience has any, please try and keep them short. Gentleman over there.
Don't you believe it was somewhat out of character, his ready acceptance of what I perceived as a somewhat opportunistic photographer in terms of, given his emotional reaction, why do you think he reacted the way he did, given that he was self-centered, intolerant for all of his life? Why do you think things changed so dramatically in his character?
Well, that was taken from a true incident actually, because there was in New York, there were quite a few Sikhs who were mistaken to be Islamic militants because of the beard and the turban, which was really ironic to me. So when I heard about this, I thought that was, it was a perfect thing for me to put in the climax where he's being blamed for something he didn't do, just like he's blaming Ali for what he didn't do. And so that to me it was the fact that he was beaten up by those guys. It sort of hits him really hard. That he realizes that, which is what he says in the end, that he mistook the man for the enemy. So Ali was not really his enemy. His enemy was something that he was blaming him for. Like it was his own anger that was the enemy.
Two things that will strike me, especially looking at the character of the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law. They're both strong in quite different ways. And it's the man who actually runs away. What was behind your thinking when you sort of decided that he should move back to India? Because there was an element of degree of comfort in going home, or was it running away from something? Because it didn't feel like running towards something.
In my mind, the one good decision he took, and he didn't take it, she did. The wife suggested it, and he agreed to do it because in a way he realized as well that there's nothing really left for them here in the sense to hang on to, and he must let Saloni live her own life, and they go back home because that's where they probably now will live without the son. So I think people as they grow older, and maybe of course a lot lonelier with the loss of a son, would want to return home. So I think that was a step in the right direction for me. And the women are stronger, and I mean a lot of that has been taken, of course, from my mother is a very strong person, a quieter, softer, strong person, but really strong, can take everything, And I find that women do have a huge latitude for, to be able to take a lot of pain. And I appreciate that in love.